I've downloaded your frame data
I bet you still don't know my game plan.
that I couldn't find on Pirate Bay servers.
Let's learn about frame data in a very simple and easy way. Moves in fighting games are nothing but animations composed of a number of frames. Because fighting games run at 60 frames per second, each of these frames takes exactly 1/60th of a second to appear on the screen. These frames give an illusion of motion because they are occurring one after the other. Now some of these frames contribute to the portion of the move when the move is just starting as soon as you execute it. These are called startup frames. Then come those frames which can actually impart damage to the enemy. These are called active frames. Lastly, we have recovery frames in which the player model comes back to the idle state from where he can attack again. Frame data is nothing but a breakdown of these three phases of a move, exactly telling you how many frames each of these three phases takes. The game uses this information to determine which player has an advantage over the other player at each instant. Just like there is a concept of space advantage, which means having better tools at a certain spacing than your opponent, like in this example, Collector has better tools than Jax at this particular spacing, there is a concept of frame advantage, which means being ahead in terms of frames at a certain time than your opponent. For example, in this case, Collector is able to hit Jax and gains a frame advantage over Jax and is able to do two standing ones before Jax player can get up. Similarly, when the move is blocked, then Jax is at a frame advantage than Collector and is able to put out a standing one before Collector. Lastly, if Collector's move whiffs, then Jax is at a frame advantage and can attack Collector during the recovery frames of Collector's moves. So in all these scenarios, what's happening is that the player having the frame advantage can perform an action before the other player. That action can be either movement to adjust your spacing or performing an attack and so on. Now, in order to understand the concept of overall advantage, you have to consider both the space as well as frame advantage. Space advantage can be gained by knowing the ranges of not only your moves but also the moves of your opponent, along with using movement to manipulate space in your favor so that you can use your best attacks against the enemy at that particular spacing compared to what the enemy can attack you with. Similarly, in order to have a frame advantage over your enemy, you need to know the frame data of your moves as well as your enemies. Using that knowledge, you will be able to choose those moves which will enable you to manipulate frames in your favor so you can play safe or keep the frame advantage that you have over the enemy. So that was it for today's episode. If you like my content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and leave your feedback in the comment section. Till next time, it is Mini Ninja signing out.
Your subscription is mine.